Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are in our Asia Pacific. Welcome to CropLife Asia's Farmers Forum webinar series. This is session 3, which is dubbed as Learnings from the Region's Women Farmer Leaders. So perhaps some of you joined for the first time. Let me just explain a little bit this Farmers Forum webinar series, which was launched by CropLife Asia early this year in the wake of COVID-19. So essentially, this platform would allow us to continue conversation with our farmers, with our growers, and hear their accounts, their stories about the challenges they have in terms of food production and market access. So and it's not just about problems. We would also, they are there on the ground. We would like to gain insights into their challenges, and because they are on the ground, they would be able to make very solid recommendations how to better improve the situation on the ground. We have listeners today who are always in discussion with government, and it is good that they will hear what you have to say this afternoon. So this is session number 3. So we had session number 1 and session number 2. In session number 1, we had farmer leaders from Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia. And in session number 2, we focused the limelight to our Vietnam farmers. But today it is very unique because the spotlight is on our women farmers. So it is very exciting. And why women farmers? In ASEAN, we have 100 million smallholder farms. And do you know that nearly 50% of that are women? So that is a very big number, and just an indication that women, the women, are the backbone of the rural economy. And so, especially in this developing world. And yet, according to studies, women, as compared to men, receive only a fraction of of whether it is land, it is capital, or it is credit, or whether inputs like improved seeds or fertilizers, or even agricultural training. So there is a gap between men farmers and women farmers. Therefore, I am very happy today because we have here 4 inspiring women farmer leaders, and they will share their perspectives on food production, market access, and challenges ahead. So let me, we only have 1 hour, so let me very efficient on this. Sorry, I hear echo. All right, so let me introduce our women farmer speakers today. Our first woman farmer comes all the way from Philippines. She is Miss Rosalie, sorry, Rosalie Ellasus. So by profession, she's a medical technologist, and she was an overseas Filipino worker. When her husband passed away, she had to go back to Philippines and therefore manage the farm. And this is where she got exposed to the field school on farmers field school on integrated pest management. And that is also the opportunity where she was introduced to this new technology in corn, which we call biotech corn. At the time, it was BT corn, a corn that was resistant, or is still resistant, to Asian corn borer. And so she has been very active all throughout the introduction as one of the pioneers, and even in our outreach to communities, explaining about this technology. I had the pleasure to work with her when I was working in the Philippines with the Southeast Asian Regional Center for Graduate Studies and Agriculture. And she's not only a farmer leader, she's also an elected official in her municipality, 3 terms. So that's how effective she is as a political leader. And now she is appointed as the Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction Management Officer in her municipality, or we call it the town, which is in San Jacinto, Pangasinan. It's a province at northern Luzon. So with all those positions and experience, she continues to be a farmer. She continues to plant rice and corn. Okay, Ma'am Rose, thank you very much for joining. And our second woman farmer, we go all the way to India. Her name is Madhuri Ghosh, and she is popularly called as Didi, which means elder sister. So if we have a medical technologist from Philippines, she's a local school teacher. But in her village, she organized women group, basically a literacy. It started as a literacy campaign for rural women, but later expanded into income generating activities. And then when you have income generating activities, your members, all women, would like to take loans to improve their business and run it. And so there came a time in 1997 where our elder sister Didi formed the Bagnan Mahila Bikash Cooperative Credit Society. It started with 579 women members, but now it has blossomed, exploded into 34,000 women members. And imagine when I look at the numbers, when they started, they are now depositing with that 34,000 women, 43 crores. So I look at the Wikipedia, what is crores? So it's like a lakh is 100,000. And so this 1 crore is like 10 million rupees. So imagine, it's very impressive. Thank you very much, Miss Didi, for joining us here. And our third woman farmer, so from India, we fly again to Indonesia, is Ibu Henny Mapatangka. And she comes from Muara Badak, a district in East Borneo, Indonesia. Now there, she saw a difference of the lifestyle of women in the rural community as compared to where she originally came from. So in the city, it was a very different lifestyle for women as compared to those in the rural life. So this here, a compassion for the struggles of rural women was born. And so that started, just like our farmer leader in India, there is this sense of strength in numbers thinking. And so she helped to form a women's farmer group, which is now part of a bigger farmer fisher folk organization. It's a national farmer fisher folk organization. And she built the Matani Asri, okay, which is a self-help agriculture and rural training center in Muara Badak. And so welcome, Ibu Henny. And I don't know whether our other farmer from India has joined. So maybe I could, is she here? Let me see. Yes. Okay, I'm so
She's here.
happy.
Yeah, she's here.
I'm so happy. Thank you very much. So I'm glad you're able to connect. Our fourth but not the least farmer, it comes from Bihar, India. So it's somewhere north part of India, nearer actually Pal, I think, 2 years old. My youngest daughter is 36, so she is like my daughter. And her name is Shalini Kumar.
Yeah, it's Shalini.
Yeah, it's Shalini. Hi, hello.
Hello,
It's Shalini from
Yes,
Bihar. Hello,
yes.
everyone.
So she lives, the village is Kutlupur. Shalini grows many
Yeah.
crops like wheat, coriander, mustard seed, and maize. So today we will hear the stories of our four inspiring.
Hello,
Uh,
Shalini. This is Shalini from Kutlupur. Hi, hello, everyone.
hi, Shalini. Okay. So before I pose a first question to our women farmer leaders, may I just remind uh, all our attendees, our participants, to use the Q&A box if you have questions, and we will try to answer them all. So there's a very heavy rain just starting. I'm sure you can hear it in the background. I'll try to speak a bit louder. So this is like almost 10 months into this movement restriction or movement control, due to pandemic. Even local or even regional travels are being restricted. And so in the farm, how does that impact in terms of labor shortage? Does it happen when at the beginning of this pandemic, like the early March or April, or is it still continuing to pose a challenge in terms of implementing farm operations, whether it will be planting or either in the land preparation or even in the harvesting? So I would like to ask that first. Maybe for this, I would like to ask all our farmer leaders so we can better understand the situation on the ground. Ma'am Rose, would you like to give it your shot?
Yes, okay. Before I will give my shot, good afternoon to each and every one of you. And it's so nice meeting you guys in spite of we are long distances. We are far from each other. Anyway, the pandemic started here in the Philippines. Definitely that was last March 16, 2020. I'm very good of that because I am the Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction. And it was exactly the time that a month of harvesting for the corn, especially the corn, in March. And in the Philippines, they imposed this curfew hours. We can only start from 5 o'clock in the morning up to 8 o'clock in the evening. And our movement was really so very difficult. And you know, the farmer workers or the farmer owners and the managers, we really, like for example me, the laborers or the workers, I got shortage of that. There was a shortage of labor, definitely, because of the grip of that COVID-19. It really tightens everything. So it was very difficult for us what to do. We ourselves, like my housemaid, everybody has to help with one another. It's a kind of a switch of something unusual. It's a dream. It's a dream that came into not only in the Philippines, but the whole world. That's my experience in my shortage in laborers in the farm. And to
Ma'am Rose?
now,
Okay,
yes,
sorry.
yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, ma'am. Yeah.
No, I can answer your question, ma'am. What is that?
No, I was just going to ask, from March where there was shortage in labor, especially during the harvesting season for corn, almost 10 or 9 to 10 months after, do you still experience labor shortage?
Definitely, there is a shortage of labor, not only of that COVID-19, but because of the typhoon. Another typhoon came in. You remember, Ma'am Sunny, especially in Region 2, where they are on difficulties at the moment. And well, when it says labor shortage for now, it's a planting for corn again. Now is our planting for corn. So, for example, the rice is already over. We harvested in October, and there was a drought. There was a difficult. I mean, there was a drought in the Philippines, and our harvest was like nothing. Like for me, it was zero. If I am harvesting at 120 bags, I only harvested 10 bags, 10 sacks of rice. But with that, of course, even with labor shortage and this difficulty in the calamities and other things that we are facing now, Mom, to all of you in the other parts of the world, we really don't know where to start now. We are at lost.
Yeah, yeah. We heard that. Uh, I will. We. I would also like to ask if our Ibu Henny from Indonesia, what's the experience over there?
You should mute. She's a mute.
And yeah, try to unmute, Ma'am Henny. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. Is this, we can talk about the people?
Sure. The question I asked, when you have the restricted control movement, so how does that impact you, especially in the beginning when it was first implemented, especially in your members, and then also right now after the experience of having this restricted control? Yeah. So
Okay.
in terms of labor shortage?
Okay. In Muara Badak, especially especially in Muara Badak and East Kalimantan, pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic didn't, what you call, disturb the producing. But the produce is abundant, but nobody buy the goods. Nobody buy the goods. So they are very, very, very poor now. Doesn't like before. So we are very, very sad, but the government also pay attention to the farmers. I think it's not optimal, not maximum, yeah. But some of them are rise now, economic rise now, because they're producing by was by the people, but not much as before, not much as before. And also in East Kalimantan, especially Muara Badak, the manpower for farming less than other city. Very, very sad.
Yeah. So it's like some of them, many farmers, those who are engaged in farming, when it relaxed the restriction movement, and so it's really kind of a different experience compared to what Ma'am Rose just shared with us about this labor shortage, and owing not just to COVID-19 but also to drought, to typhoons. We'd like to hear from our farmer leaders, our women leaders in India. We start with the youngest, Shalini. How was it in your farm? Can you unmute yourself, Shalini? We cannot hear.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah, hello, hi.
Yeah.
Hi. The main problem we faced here in Kutlupur, that we faced storage issue for our ready crop. We faced storage issue for our ready crop, and on ad hoc we create storage. We created storage, and one more issue is also that labor shortage. Labor shortage was not much, as many returned to village, but doubt of having health issues prevented us for these. And market access also is issue.
Thank you.
This
Okay.
was also a problem.
Yeah. So I think that's when you compare that to Ibu Henny, there were produced, but not enough purchasing power from consumers. So in effect, there were
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
also some harvests that are not being consumed or bought. So that
yeah,
also created a problem. And
yeah,
from
yeah.
your side, aside from that, you have this opportunity to create storage facilities so
Yes,
that
yes,
those,
yes. It is a
yeah,
kind of opportunity in COVID-19, yeah. And I
exactly.
did stories. I did lots of stories. I created lots of storage places on ad hoc basis.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. All right. Thanks, Shalini. May we call on Ma'am Didi? How about in the credit co-op? How does that impact to the women members?
বলো মহিলাদের কি হয়েছে বলো এই চাষবাসের জন্য বলো
মহিলাদের চাষবাসে অনেক ক্ষতি হয়েছে, ঠিক মতো চাষ করতে পারছে না, জলের অভাব ছিল, বীজের অভাব ছিল, সেগুলো অনেকটা এখন ঠিক হচ্ছে, আস্তে আস্তে একটু এগিয়ে যাচ্ছে।
Are you hearing her voice? Actually, she is speaking in Bengali, but right now I am translating it to in English. Actually,
Okay.
she told that at the very beginning, as the pandemic was happened on the time, due to that reason, they are not able to find their seeds, their material. So that's why they are in problem. But as the migrant labor coming to the villages, so labor shortage is not an issue. But issue is that when cyclone was going on our area, Amphan, on that time the farmers farm field are absolutely destroyed. On that time they are facing much more problem than COVID. So cyclone is much more affecting farmers than COVID. Actually, when COVID is happened, on that time all the laborers come to the villages, and on their field they are trying to using it properly. So they are trying to survive. So that's why they are concentrating on the field of agriculture. So COVID help our rural women and people concentrate on their farmland. So right now, at that moment, they are quite all right, and they are trying to implementing technology from our society. We are supporting them to using the technology in the field, using the proper manures and seeds to increase their income. So, and they are also taking as a prime profession right now. So pandemic is giving the help the rural economy to improve through the agriculture actually.
So there's a flip side of this COVID, people returning to villages and they have re-engaged in farming, and it's an opportunity for them to also learn new technologies in farming. Sometimes when you're from the city, even if you come from a rural community, sometimes you forget the skills, and it's good that they come back, and it's good that you don't have labor shortage. I'm hearing that from India as well. And when there is a restricted movement, part of that is because transportation becomes few or maybe not available on a timely basis. And then when you don't have transportation, you cannot access the market. Did that happen in your, did you experience that as well? Shalini, what do you think? What was your experience?
Yeah. We had an issues with the excess of market, and that's why we created storage in which ready crop storage to minimize crop wastage.
Thank you, Shalini. How about Ma'am Rose? Were you able to sell your palay to or your corn to the feed millers? How was that?
Are you asking us?
You're mute, Ma'am Rose.
Oh, yes.
Rosalie?
Yeah, okay, I got it. Yeah, okay. Well, the traders are still there to buy our corn and palay. But the thing is, they took advantage of the pandemic that they bought our produce at a very low price. The price is really low that most of the farmers are have no profit in spite of no more harvest. Still
Yeah, still.
the price was so low. And the thing was, another thing is you cannot move to another uh, province or another towns because I myself, they have to get their travel certification. You cannot just travel just like that without your travel certification, nor they call it the COVID shield. So, and no, not much public transportation, and you know that. But do you know that most of the people in the Philippines, they became plantitos and plantitas? I'm not too sure if these people know about these plantitos and plantitas,
I
but
don't know.
they learn how to plant vegetables, different kinds of vegetables, because of they cannot go to the market, so they have to plant their own vegetables, their food, but of course not the corn nor the palay
Ye-
nor other commodities that are in large scale. That's the thing, Ma'am Sunny.
Thank you, Ma'am Rose. Let's hear from Didi. How about in India?
আমাদের চাষবাসের কি হয়েছে মানে আমাদের ফসলের কিভাবে কি হয়েছে বলো ফসলটা আমরা বলুন
ফসলের ক্ষতি হয়েছে ফসলের
ফসলটা আমরা কি করছি কিভাবে সেল বেল করার সমস্যা হয়েছে হ্যাঁ বলুন
আমাদের সবজিটা বিক্রি করা যাচ্ছে, গ্রামে গ্রামে বিক্রি করে মেয়েরা, তারপরে বেশি হলে আবার আরো দূরে নিয়ে গিয়ে যায়, পুরুষরাও নিয়ে চলে যাচ্ছে, গিয়ে বিক্রি করে।
Actually, what they are saying, actually rural market is they are using it at properly, but though price is low, but they are sell it to the rural market, local market. But excess when their product is excessing on that time, as Mahila Bikash Cooperative have a consumer cooperative, so they have a food processing unit basically. They're collecting the excess product from there and they are using it for their food processing purpose. I am just saying you that uh, at this session the farmers did not selling their marigold products. So now society are purchasing more than 500 kgs of marigold, and they have a plan to extract color from there. And we have purchased more than 1,000 kgs of tomatoes from there. Our women members are preparing tomato sauce from there. We are purchasing mangoes, we are purchasing other products from farmland, which we are we are adding the values and prepare it and sell it to our local market. And as we have the 34,000 women, so they are our markets. So we have a huge market base, and we have a very good communication with all the members. So that's why we can prepare the food products and sell it to the local markets.
It is really good.
In that way we are using this.
Yeah.
We are helping our farmers actually.
Yeah, so it's good that you don't have challenges in terms of selling the produce from the members of the credit cooperative because you have the rural market, a huge rural market. We heard different stories from our woman farmer from Philippines, where they become kind of at a mercy of the traders because since it's very few buyers, and those buyers take advantage of that by buying at a low price, which really put them at a disadvantage. We heard Ibu Henny that the government bought some produce, but it's still not enough in terms of buying really the produce from our farm. Now, when it says that, for example, for the credit co-op, there's no issue around rural about access to market. But we've been, there have been stories that, you know, part of the COVID coping is in marketing is go online. Have you experienced this in your members or in your community? How about Ibu Henny? What's your experience? Are the members of the women's association, have they gone online platform as a platform for marketing their produce?
Yes. First, I'm going to explain to you that our problem here is the same as the Philippines and Miss Shalini. The trader took advantage from the farmers. They bought our product very, very cheap. For instance, tomato only only 0.2 maybe, $0.2 per kg. It's incredible. Normal price in half or 0.6 dollars US dollars per kg. And also when we produce very abundant, we have no dryer. We need a machine dryer. Okay. And about online, like we do now.
So Ibu Henny, the members now, you have this online platform already to sell the products.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. They sell by online because we cannot meet people. Social distancing. Yeah. So we sell the product, but the problem is in our village, not every woman has what you call gadget, handphone, yeah. And also has have to buy the data package of data, and also internet always problem with signal. I am now in the office in Samarinda, 1 hour from my village, because I'm afraid if I stay in my home, online in my home, will be trouble. It's very, very poor. So yeah. That's the
yes, Sonny.
Yes.
Yes, Sonny. Yes. Sonny, in India also we didn't go for online platform due to still lack of awareness and network issues in village areas.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
and Sonny, one more thing is that as we were not having perishable kind of products, that's why this was an advantage for us to
so now I understand why there was a lot of emphasis on the storage facilities. Yeah, the non-perishability of the crop also gives you some flexibility to in terms of the market timing. How about in the cooperative? Do you see many loans from our members because they wanted to buy gadgets? They wanted how did our women members cope in terms of online?
No any cooperation okay. Regarding gadgets and all that. Due to COVID-19, government is not also much cooperative in that kind of
but
stuff.
I would like to ask Ma'am Didi from their credit co-op if you know, is there a trend towards online platform as a way to market the produce?
অনলাইন মার্কেটে ব্যবহার করতে পারি, আমাদের অনলাইন মার্কেটে কি ব্যবহার করব, কারণ আমরা তো লোকাল মার্কেট থেকে আমরা তো লোকাল মার্কেট থেকেই সবকিছু করছি, তো আমাদের অনলাইনের জন্য কোনো নেই, কিন্তু আমরা লোকালেই সবকিছু আমরা নিচ্ছি, বিক্রি করছি বা আমরা দিচ্ছি, সেখানে যাচ্ছি, যোগাযোগ করছি, রেগুলার তাদের সঙ্গে আমাদের যোগাযোগ আছে, আমাদের মেয়েরা যাচ্ছে, অসুবিধা নেই আমাদের কিছু. Didi has told that as we are working with the women since 1995, so we have a huge network base in the rural villages. Now, right now we are working in 82 villages. That's why we have a huge local
Yeah.
markets. And every week our members, our staffs are attending with each member. So that's why we have a good communication with the rural women and rural people. So that's why which we are producing through our SHG members, our producer group, those who are producing, we have the proper network to sell it to the
Yes,
local
yes.
markets. So that we are calling this apna buyer. That means our own market. This is. So on that process, we are selling our
Correct.
own products to our own
Yes.
members. So we don't need to go
Yes.
outside markets to sell our products. This technology we are built in our own demands, and we are practicing it since
Fine.
1995. So that's why we don't need for any other external market to sell our
That
products
that is really
at present
that is
moment.
really good to
Just we
hear.
need some, yeah, just we need some more proper technology. That's why we can able to give the farmers proper irrigation system, proper pest control
Yes.
system, and proper how to prepare land. So that's why they able to getting much more product from their field.
Yes.
We are, that is our challenges, and we are now trying to implementing modern technology in our uh, farmland.
So you talk about, so you see there are disparities where you have very good access to market. You don't, there's no, you don't see opportunity for online platform marketing of products, but for the rest of our women farmers, they see this so that they can access the market. And you mentioned Ibu Didi about the technology. So we know at the beginning there were some challenges to access those technologies, and over the few months now, we many of you have already access to these technologies, whether they be improved seeds, pesticides, crop protection products, or fertilizers. But in your experience now that we have this almost 10-month experience under this COVID with all the other things that impact us because of this restriction movement. From a technology perspective, are there, have you have some thoughts what kind of technologies that are needed, for example, in the credit co-op? Because Shalini was really, uh, Shalini was talking about storage facilities. So from the credit co-op where you have thousands of women members, what kind of technologies do they
Actually,
think should be put on the ground?
yeah, as we have a local access to the market, so that's why and a huge financial base we have. So that's why if we want, then we can able to prepare a storage place and all these things. Actually, members can take loan from our cooperative, so then they don't need to go to the government for their helps. As they are preparing their cooperative, they are depositing their own fund, and from their own fund they can get credit from this. So they don't need to go to the government, go to the other agencies to help them on that process. Just they need to get some modern technology from the outside, like IITs, all other agricultural institutions. If they assist them on that technical assistance,
Yeah.
then I hope that our rural farmers will get much more benefit from this modern technology. If they are using proper irrigation system, if they are know how to prepare land more more easily in low cost process, and they know how to manage their pests. These are the challenges now which we are facing in our field.
Thank you very much. It's really good to hear that uh, the women farmers they're doing well, but still there is a need for technical assistance in terms of adapting new technologies. I think that's where government and even the private sector, our different industry players can really help in education, in capacity building towards the right use of that technology. I just wonder, anything you can add on to that, Ma'am Rose, as far as the Philippine experience is?
Oh, yes, ma'am, of course. Well, Philippines is quite different from India or even Indonesia. You know, it became a trend in the Philippines about the online platforms. You know
Okay.
that, yeah. But mostly are on a small scale, like probably the fruits and vegetables. You can put them in online and process meats or cook food. But these huge scales, like if I will produce, if I will harvest palay or corn, and that is in huge scale, then I cannot do that in online anymore,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Because the circumstances is not a good transaction. By the way, it depends on the quality of your produce. And definitely this online platform is only advisable to small scales. And even, you know, that even the stewardess or even those who are OFW who return home, they return home. So many OFW, they are the overseas foreign workers who came back home. Around 3 million now, 3 million OFW came back home and they're doing online. But as I've said, it's again on a small scales. And probably for me, the suggestion for the Philippines, if this pandemic will go on still for a few more years, then the government has to make a hub or maybe a channel for the farmers as an access to market their produce. For at least there is a standard price for our produce. And being a farmer from this developing country, I am not sure if the online platform is sustainable to get through in marketing our own produce in the field. That's that's the thing I can add in, Ma'am Sunny.
Thank, thank you, Mom Rose. That really provides a good kind of insight about the digital marketing structure. So right now, most of the digital marketing application is more for like small to medium kind of business, but big business sometimes, especially for our farmers, when they harvest like how many hundreds of kavans of rice, it becomes very difficult. The structure, the digital structure is not yet there. And I think this is where government can really play its role. Ibu Henny cited, you know, the constraint in digital about the gadgets, about how to use it, and also about connectivity. So there's still a lot of gap in there. So I'm just mindful of the time because we have almost 12 minutes. I was maybe I would like to ask all of you as women farmers, you know, you face unique challenges to farming, and how do you think the, you know, from your point of view, you've been farming for some time and or leading a farmer group. So what would be like your topmost obstacle in farming, and how do you think we could help make progress? I will
Yeah, Sunny,
let's
uh,
have Ibu Henny first. Ibu Henny.
Yes. In Indonesia, I think we need the machinery tools for that.
Okay.
There's many, but only tractors. We need like harvesting machine, seedling machine, or something like that. Not only tractors, not only tractors. All we need. Like in Japan, all machinery, full of machinery, modern farming.
So when those machineries, for example, will be provided by the government, do you see it to be managed by your co-op, for example, or what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I do hope that all machinery managed by we only rent the machinery. They manage by private sectors, or we call BUMN. Yeah, BUMN. It's owned by a state-owned enterprises, or local also have, we call BUMD. I do hope that we only rent from them for all our needs.
Okay. How about Shalini? What do you think about your topmost challenge or obstacle, and how
Yeah,
do you?
Sonny.
Yes.
Yeah, Sonny, I would like to say one thing about women farmers, especially that the tools and technologies should be designed ergonomically for women. Like as almost all the tools are designed keeping male front. So we need to give more focused for women's as well, as the tools are very heavy in nature, and grips of tools is not apt for women farmers.
Okay, so it's like
An issue
tools
for women
appropriate
farmers.
for women. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because when these tools were designed, it's like with a man in mind, so it's quite heavy. I experienced that. I have difficulty in using that. And how about from from Mom Didi? How about the our women farmers in the credit co-op?
চ্যালেঞ্জ আমাদের কি কি সমস্যা আছে, মানে কি কি করলে ভালো হয় আর কি জিজ্ঞেস করছে, বলো।
ভালো তো
না মানে না চাষবাসের জন্য।
চাষবাসের
পেস্ট কন্ট্রোল
বিকল্প ব্যবস্থাগুলো,
বিকল্প কি
বিকল্প
বলো।
ব্যবস্থাগুলো ঠিক ঠিক চালু করতে পারলে আরো ভালো চাষ
ভালো হবে, বেশি হবে, তাতে পয়সাটাও পাওয়া যাবে।
Actually, what they are saying that modern technology is one issue. Another issue is pest management. It is very important for field of agriculture, and what Shalini has told already, that they needs more easier tool. That's why woman farmer can easily handle it, because when our groups of farmers are cultivating, sometimes they have to borrow the main labors. So if they if they can manage the tools, so that's why they can easily cultivate their land. So it is another issue. So technology, pest management, and easy tools to handle by the woman, that is the main issue.
That's really good. And maybe from Mom Rose, you've been a farmer, and then a political
Yes.
leader. So how do you see the convergence of all that in terms of overcoming the challenges of a farmer, being a woman farmer?
Yes, ma'am. Of course, the top obstacle, a farmerette or the women farmer in my region, and I am not talking only about myself, but I am talking generally for the women farmers in the Philippines. You know that the stamina and the power of the female are different from the males, right? And the thing is, the women are still in charge of household chores and taking care of their children's welfare. And now that the pandemic is on, the women or the mothers has to stay home, and they have to teach their children with their modules because there is no a face-to-face school. And I don't know what to do, but for me, being a biotech farmer, being a biotech advocate, and for the policymakers to know, or the government, we have to continue these technological innovations that shape the agriculture throughout the Philippines, and they have to continue that, especially on the positioning of this machinery, the farming equipments that we have it now, and they are giving it to us free if there is a cooperative or associations, and the women should not be hindered from having that as well. And probably another thought is to improve more on our seeds. Like, definitely, of course, we have the biotech seed, or the drought tolerant seeds, or many kinds of improved seeds that we have. And the crop protection tools are already there. Crop management, mechanization, that is enabling us, not only the male farmers, but the farmerettes, to increase our productivity. So let's move on, let's go on, because without farmers, there is no food in the table. And we have to keep going. We have to live, we have to have something to sustain the whole world, especially in this upscaling, or this growing population. We have to upskill as well, on not only the males, but also the females in the farming equipments. And thank you so much, Mom, for having me here. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much, Ma'am Rose. It's very insightful, and you're giving the whole kind of array of options and recommendations to our policymakers. It's really good to hear that as well. And I have here one question which I would like all of our women farmer leaders to answer. So the question is, since there is limited access on agricultural inputs, seeds, fertilizers, and chemicals, is there a government program or programs which could help provide the farmers on what they need? Okay, maybe since you just started, Ma'am Rose, I will call you first.
Yes, that's very good. Actually, I am also a very proud Filipino farmerette. You know why? The government are still there. We have these trainings on seed growing. You know, there is a palag seed grower, there is a corn seed grower, and I'm quite thankful that we have this government. They're giving us free seeds on hybrid, or hybrid seeds of palay, and also the other thing, anyway, but that is only 1 or 40 kilos of seed of seeds for 1 hectare, which is not enough as well, but at least it will also give a little help to the farmers. We have also, they're giving us also two fertilizers for 1 hectare, if you have 1 hectare. And there was a help of 5,000 pesos for every farmer, but you must be in the list, in the master list of farmers in the Philippines. And that's one thing that the Philippines are doing right now. But we need more. We need more. This is not a help, or this is not a solution that the farmers in the Philippines can be progressive. They have to think of something else more that can uplift the lives of the farmers.
Thank you, Ma'am Rose.
Yes, ma'am, you're most welcome.
May I call on Ibu Henny? Do you have what kind of government programs did Indonesia government, help in terms of accessing inputs to farm? Ibu Henny, you're on mute.
Oh, yes, thank you. The government is very helpful. Like as the Philippines said just now, not enough, not enough. Like I'm going to the Philippines, but I just have money until Jakarta. Not enough, not enough. So stuck on the way, stuck on the way. I think the farmer not what you call help heart, must be full heart to help the farmer. If the government wants economic rise, the farmers' economic rise. I think it's not enough. Like 1 hectare, the government help 4 kg, 4 kg of corn. I think 1 hectare, for instance, 1 hectare need 10 kg of corn seed, I think, I mean. So we always less, always like that every year, because I'm in the field, so I know everything. But government help, government support us. I want Indonesian government supported like Japanese government to the farmers and the fishermen. That's all.
We're sure we're going. Our listeners here would be able to articulate that to the government. Thank you very much, Ibu Henny. May I call on Shalini first?
Yeah, hello. Yeah. Yes, government. Yeah, government is helping regarding this, but as I told you, due to lack of awareness, network issues, and social structure which had. Can you mute from your side? Yeah. So, okay. Sorry again. I repeat. Helping regarding that, but as I told you, due to lack of awareness and the network issues and the kind of social structure which had here, the condition is due to all these kinds of problems, 100% peoples are not benefited from the programs which has been created from government side, and so it's become major problem in COVID-19. So major problem in COVID-19, due to which not 100% people's reach to have those facilities. That's all.
Thank you very much, Shalini. How about Ma'am Didi?
Thank you.
Can you unmute?
অনেক সহযোগিতা করেছেন, আমাদের বাড়ি করার জন্য টাকা দিয়েছেন, চাষবাসের জন্যও অনেক কিছু করেছেন, বীজ দেয়া, তারপরে জমি ঠিক করে চাষ করার জন্য তার ব্যবস্থা করা, সবকিছু করেছে।
What she has told that actually, as we are the cooperative society, so we are already associated with the government. We are working under government of West Bengal Cooperation Department. So that's why government assistance is already have with us. But if in the field of agriculture, we are getting some assistance from the IIT Kharagpur. We can get the assistance from the KVK in the purpose of technological purpose. If we want, then we can talk with our local BDOs, agricultural officers, so they can assist us. But what is the problem is that our department do not reach to the rural people. We are just bridging with them from government to the rural people. We are working just like a bridge. So actually the government problem is that they are not going to the field of rural farmers, but we are assisting them to go there and to assist them, give them modern technology, give them some facilities. That's why they can able to get much more benefit from there. We are working just like a bridge right now. On that process, we try to provide all the technical supports to the rural people.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Didi. It's very good to know that you are working very closely with local government, and therefore, you know, those technical assistance and coordination are just sometimes lacking, but need to be strengthened. So short of time, so allow me to thank our inspiring four women farmer lead, Rosalie Ellasus from the Philippines,
Yes, ma'am.
Ibu Henny from Indonesia, Shalini Kumari from India, and Ma'am Didi
Thank you.
Madhuri Ghosh from India. So we heard from their stories. You heard the wealth of experience and wisdom that they have, and in terms of overcoming challenges in farming and of being a woman farmer itself. It's not an easy road to take. And so our hats off to all our brave and inspiring women farmer leaders. Many of our attendees today are engaged in agriculture development work, and I'm sure they are listening, and we will heed to your call to action. So CropLife Asia member companies have also dedicated programs for women in agriculture, and they are also part of the participants here, and we will continue to provide that support and coordinate with our member companies. And so, all hearing from all your experiences and the great contribution that you have made to agriculture, I think it's really very fair to say that women are key agents of change in the fight against rural poverty, malnutrition, and hunger. We are part of that sustainable development goals, and to accomplish that, we should make sure that no woman is left behind, including in agriculture. And we've seen you have all a government invested in all our women farmers, that this women power, they have increased our contribute in our livelihoods, not just for women, but also for everyone, including our families. So I'm really very happy. This has been a very inspiring afternoon, 1 hour talk, and I hope we have more hour, but it's not. And I'm sure your continuous contribution and passion in agriculture and to women's welfare will help improve the food security and sustainability in Asia and also the world. So thank you once again, Ma'am Rose, Ma'am Didi, Shalini, and also Ibu Henny,
Thank you.
our women
Thank you
heroes.
very much.
Thank
And also we
you.
thank all our attendees,
Stay
and we
safe
look
and healthy.
forward to have you again. And maybe one day, very soon, next year, we can visit you in your farms. Thank you once
Okay.
again. Good
Thank you.
day.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Stay
Bye-bye.
safe.
Good afternoon.
Bye.
Keep safe.
Bye-bye.